On today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Ghostbusters remake, Erin, Gilbert. Erin Gilbert is the second figure that we're going to have a look at. Already having a look at Jillian. She does come with the lower legs for Rowan the Destroyer. And accessory-wise, that's it. She also comes with her proton pack and proton wand, but no other accessories, which is kind of a big of a shame, really. The package carries over the same package artwork, with the slime at the top there is what we had to look at with Jillian. Also noted is the stripe on the back of it, or on the bottom of the packaging, to simulate the outfits that they wear as well. As for your back of the package, the other figures consist of Abby Yates, Erin Gilbert, Jillian Holtzman, and Patty Tolan. If you collect all 4 figures, congratulations, you can build Rowan the Destroyer right here, which looks to be, not having completed him yet, it looks to be the exact same Rowan the Destroyer as the one that we've already had a look at that lit up, and I'll do a comparison when we finally have a look at him. Down below, you've just got 0 to 3, not recommended for ages 0 to 3, and Mattel. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, though, we're going to get a better look at the Ghostbusters remake, Erin Gilbert. There's more anyway, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. The Build-A-Figure components for Rowan the Destroyer that come included with Erin comes with the only 2 legs needed to put onto Rowan. Let's go ahead and grab the body that we already had a look at with Jillian. We're going to put the legs in place. Now you obviously know which one goes which, as the bow tie on the front will indicate which way is the right way. So that's facing forward. Let's go ahead and snap the legs into place. Very easy to peg in legs too, not really anything involved. You do get some posability, not really much, I have to admit, on the leg portion of it. Maybe the Rowan is slightly different than the one that glowed in the dark, as this one looks like it is walking. Again, it doesn't really look like, not really much in the way of posability. So that's what we've got so far. Still got to put the arms in and got to put the head in there as well. Let's move Rowan out of the way. Let's have a look at Erin here. Okay, so Erin, it's funny me just saying that. Erin comes with her proton pack and proton wand, the same as Jillian. In fact, it is the exact same proton pack. Of course it should be. Now, the Ghostbusters vary with their proton packs. The figure does look like, let's bring in Jillian though. It looks like, other than tweaking slightly the torso, or the top area where the collar is, it looks like it's the same figure. Now, this one here, Erin does have the additional cuffs on her sleeves, whereas Jillian has the rolled up sleeves. But it looks like, other than that, it could be almost the same figure. The same boots, or at least the lower half is the exact same. Same height, too, as well. I like the coloring, actually. I'm getting more familiar and a little more warmed up to the costume. Initially, I didn't like that sort of construction worker hazard style of costume that they're wearing, where it has a lot of this orange incorporated. But I have to admit, it is warming up to me. And while a lot of fanboys are going to be picketing, we're never going to see the Ghostbusters, we're never going to see the Ghostbusters, I don't care if it's going to be good or not, we're never going to see it. I will see it. I will go see it in theater. I'm somebody that favors remakes. Hate me as you will. I don't mind watching a remake, because if it's not good, you can always go back and watch the originals. And if, say, a Ghostbusters 3 never existed and we never got another Ghostbusters, is it really a big deal that we got a rebooted franchise? Same way with the Friday the 13th, same way with the Nightmare on Elm Street. I love the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. People that don't like it, that's cool. You can go back and watch the originals. They still exist. They don't burn them in the moment that these new movies come out and you can never, ever, ever see them again. They still exist. Anyways, that being the case, that moving aside, Erin Gilbert does have her name not so much embroidered, but printed on her jumpsuit. It's not covered either, like Holtzman's. Again, the orange straps of the proton packs with the silver, which carries over to the arms, the front, the sides, and also the belt, which also carries over that orange color. Not to mention the orange slightly in their boots as well. The design of the Proton Pack, not favorable by many, because like the original Ghostbusters essentially had kind of this sort of design, just flipped. So like this was near like the bottom. It seems like it just seems weird looking at it almost the opposite way around. This I wish was kind of more colored in red, just to kind of give it a little bit of something extra. But there's a few little areas, like a green and red button on the side that's colored in. Yellows on the top there is colored in. Other than that, though, there's nothing really in the way of coloring. The Proton Wand, on the other hand, does get a little bit. It's got the black tip and the black handle, and a little bit of that slightly copper red color there on the inside. You can take the Proton Wand, by the way, when she's not holding it, and there's like a little clip just on the side there. The clip fits with the little notch on the inside of her Proton Wand. And try your best when you're doing this not to bunch up the actual tube too much, so it doesn't look like it's too bizarre up the top there. As for her face, I mean, none of the Ghostbuster figures, as good as they may be, even if you like the original Mattel Ghostbuster figures for the original movies, none of the likenesses were incredibly strong. The face seems like it's a little too long, but it does look like her. Maybe an instance where you can look from a distance and squint, but it does look like her. I think she almost does a better job looking like her than the first figure that we had to look at. She has a little ponytail on the back. I don't know what's going on with her eye. It looks like she's got almost a lazy Shannon Doherty style of eye. But from a distance, you don't see it as much. Alright, so in the way of Erin Gilbert's, I keep wanting to say Melissa Gilbert, but she's from Little House on the Prairie. Her head is on a ball joint, and it's ball jointed right at the base of the neck. Shoulders hinge out, forward and back, all the way around, if not for, of course, butting up against the back of the Proton Pack. She does have a bend in the elbows, which also rotates the forearm. She also has a rotation on the wrist or glove area. Waist swivel, split leg articulation, forward and back motion as well. A mid swivel on the thigh area, a hinge at the knee, and a pivot on the foot. A little rocker on the foot area. It doesn't pivot. Well, it pivots a little bit, but more so just a rocking back and forth. Again, it's not a bad figure. It just is a victim, unfortunately, of a movie that people have already decided is going to stink. So therefore, nobody is really going and buying these figures. And I guess the hard part, too, is not a lot of... And I don't say this, you know, basically just painting everything with one brush. But I don't think a lot of girls necessarily, not all of them, are going to be inclined to pick up action figures of the characters. I might be wrong by that. You know, don't hate me, don't hate Spot for saying this, but I feel like a younger girl, if they had made these more like, and I'm not generalizing, but if they made these more like dolls, like a Monster High, or something that you could dress up, I feel like this line would have done better than making them as action figures. By making them as posable action figures, I don't personally feel like a little girl is going to want to pick these up. They're in a kind of strange market where a young boy may not want to pick up a Ghostbuster girl, unless you had like a Janine where you had the other Ghostbuster guys. A boy is not probably going to pick up this figure. A girl, and not generalizing every girl, because there are girls that still love action figures, and I love you guys for it. But there are some girls, little girls, that may not want this style of figure. They would want something that they could dress up. You know, they could put the uniforms on, stuff like that. So I could maybe see why this line didn't do well, and why these are clearance. It's in that in-between market where you almost have to cater towards either boys that love action figures that would buy a girl action figure because it's a Ghostbuster, or a girl that loves the fact that there's female Ghostbusters that's into action figures. That's almost like a very, very, very small market that I could again see why maybe these haven't done as well as they have. At any rate, Spot's still going to watch the movie. Try not to rant too much more about remakes, but I am going to watch the movie, give it an honest opinion, and go in just non-judging of whatever movie debacle it may potentially be. In the meantime, though, rants aside, Spot was having a look at another figure from the new Ghostbusters remake. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Rants, rants, rants. Today, though, we're having a look at Erin Gilbert from the new Ghostbusters figure line. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Toy Spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.